Welcome to Eleanor Dorn Makeup. Today I'm going to show you how to do some highlighting and contouring using concealers. So let's get started. So before I start my highlighting and contouring, I've just applied a base all over my face just to even out my skin tone. Today I've used a MAC BB cream, it's one of my favourite, and I've just blended it in all over my face with my number 4 foundation brush. Today I'm going to be using a cream instead of a powder to do my highlighting and contouring. And I'm using some matte concealers. These are Studio Finish concealers, which are really great coverage. And what I'm going to do is use a darker concealer for my contouring and some lighter concealers for my highlighting. So for your darker concealer, you just need to find a shade that's a few shades darker than your normal skin color. And for your lighter highlighting, you need to just find a concealer that's a couple of shades lighter than your normal skin color. So first what I'm going to do is grab a cotton tip and just pop a bit of this onto my wrist and blend that, and I'll be using this as my palette. So what I'm going to do now is just grab my number 4 foundation brush, and I'm just going to pop some of this concealer onto my brush, and now I'm going to go in and just pop this concealer onto my face where I wish to contour. So we're going to do a few places. First we're going to start with this hollow area underneath our cheekbone, which is going to help slim down the cheeks here. I'm not going to blend it in at this stage, I just want to put it on so I have a nice guide to where I do want to contour. First we're just going to pop this onto our hollow of our cheekbone. Second place I'm going to contour is just in my temples here. Again, it's going to help slim down my face. So just pop a brush of that concealer up on both sides of your temples. The third place I'm going to pop some of this darker concealer is just around my jawline here, just to bring this in a bit more and add some shadow. What you can do if you feel like you're running out, which I am, is just grab a little bit more and continue. So I'm just dabbing this around my forehead because I also want to bring in this shape. Now the other area I'm going to do some contouring in is just down my nose here, just down the sides, as I want to slim this down a bit. So what I'm going to do now is just grab my cotton tip with my darker colour on it, and I'm just going to draw a line down either side of my nose here, like so. And as you can see, you have a good outline of where you do want to highlight and contour. What I'm also going to do is just pop a little bit of concealer down the very end of my nose here, because I don't want to highlight all the way down. I do want it still to look quite natural. So now I've put the contouring concealer on, we're going to go in and put the highlighting concealer in to give us an idea of where we're going to be highlighting, and then we'll start blending a bit later. So today with my concealer, I've chosen to mix 2 colours of concealers together, but both shades are lighter than my natural skin colour. Then again I'm going to go in with my foundation brush, and like I did before, just lightly brush it onto my face but not blend it in. So first we're going to start with this area here on our cheekbone, because I obviously want to highlight that and make that stick out nicely. So what I'm going to do is just dab this onto my face here, and as you can see it's definitely lighter than my skin tone. The second place I'm going to pop this is just a little bit underneath that area I contoured before. Again, just to emphasize those cheekbones. I'm also going to pop a little bit on my chin as well, and just pop a little bit more on my cheeks here. I'm also going to pop some concealer in my forehead here, just starting in between my eyebrows, and just lightly dab it out, roughly brushing it out like so, just onto that bottom section of my forehead, not all the way out. Then what I'm going to do again with my cotton tip is just get my lighter concealer and just line that down the center of my nose in between where I did my contouring. Just like that. So you can already see now where I'm choosing to highlight and contour, and my face already has a bit of a different shape to it. So what I might do is just pop a little bit more of this lighter concealer just underneath my eyes here, and I might actually blend it quite high, right underneath there. So now what we're going to do is blend this all in. So first I'm going to start blending in my contoured pieces, which are my darker pieces of concealer. So I'm going to use my number 4 foundation brush, and I'm just going to start with this section here. So what I'm going to do is just grab my brush and just start blending in little circles. I'm just blending in now, and what I'm going to do now I've reached this point, I don't want to go any further down, is I'm just going to start blending upwards. Like so. And the key is just to keep buffing until you're comfortable that it's at a shade and at an area that you like. Now I'm just going to blend in my jawline. Again, I'm starting outside and I'm just blending downwards towards my chin, and then I'm just going to blend back up again and ensure that I blend into my neck so there's no obvious lines. Now I'm going to blend into my temple, and for this I'm actually just brushing outwards and upwards, so I don't want to bring any colour further down. And with the forehead, I'm just going to start in the centre and just buff around in little circles towards the hairline. So now what we're going to do is blend in my highlighting cream. For this I'm using another brush, which is my number 19 pointed face brush. So I'm going to start with my cheeks here, and what I'm going to do is just start up here where my top of my cheekbone is, and I'm just using light little circle brush strokes. I'm just blending downwards, and I'm blending downwards towards my nose. And what I'm also going to do is just start buffing the area where my dark and light meet as I go down. And I'm also blending, as you can see, right all the way down to the side of my nose too. Now what I'm going to do is just blend in this area in between my jawline and that hollow of my cheek. And again, I'm using small strokes, and I'm just blending in little circles downwards and towards my mouth. Now what I'm going to do is just blend this colour in the middle of my forehead. I'm going to start in between the middle of my eyebrows, and I'm just buffing it out in small little circles and little brush strokes outwards. And again, blending it in to that other colour. So now what I'm going to do is just blend in this colour in my chin too. Just buff it around a bit to blend that in. So we've buffed in the face area, but I've left the nose and the under eye area. So now we're going to blend this in with a smaller brush. I'm using my number 6 brush. And first we're going to start with this under eye area. So just with a smaller brush, just going to blend in right up to underneath the eye. And now what we're going to do is blend in this nose area. First what we're going to do is blend this darker area on the nose. So just starting on one side, just get your brush and you just start slightly blending out and downwards. You can also get this colour and blend upwards slightly in between this area in the very inner corner of your eye. And blend in this bottom area of your nose too. And now we're going to start blending in this highlighting cream. So again, just start at the middle of your nose here, at the very top between your eyebrows. And now what we're going to do is just blend this in downwards. Don't go too wide, as you don't want to blend this highlighting colour out, but you just want to buff it against the darker colour just to blend it in a bit. So now that we've finished our highlighting and contouring and I'm happy with my colour, I'm just going to go over the whole look with a finishing powder. I'm just using a MAC Prep and Prime powder, and I'm using my number 2 stippling brush, but you can also use just a standard powder brush as well. So I'm just going to dust this lightly over my face, just to ensure that this colour is set before I apply any other powders or shimmers on top of it. And so now we've got our powder done. This is our finished highlighting and contoured look. What you can do now if you wish is add some more bronzer, some shimmer powder and blusher to complete the full look. So there you have it. That's a quick makeup lesson on how to do some highlighting and contouring using concealers. As mentioned, you can play up the colour as dark or as light as you wish if you want to intensify the highlighting and the contouring. All the items that I've used today are listed below. If you have any questions, flick me a note on Facebook or via my website, eleanordornmakeup.com. Thank you for watching.